entire story about finding the bullet on the gurney may be a lie. It may not be true.
I don't care about that.
Saying?
Yeah, but that's fine.
No,
that's fine.
Yeah.
The issue is, and if you see the documentary, when they released those classified like documents, and they made it available to the public, which they had to do through the assassination. It was the AARP or whatever. Yeah. That thing they passed. When they made it available to the public, that guy, that like smart kid, they said he basically moved into the library.
He read like 2 million pages or something.
He went through. They're like he literally set up shop in the library and was like, I'm gonna find out something. The interesting thing is when he's tracing, because evidence, they have to document everything.
Yeah.
He went through all the documentation of the magic bullet, and it doesn't line up. And they can tell that they forged things.
There's no chain of custody.
There's no chain, and they forged things. And then also with the conspiracy of the magic bullet, which the government told us about, they changed their original documents, saying that they said originally it came through his back.
Yeah.
With the magic bullet doesn't make sense, because in the documentary they're saying, well, we know for a fact through all the eyewitnesses there's more than 3 shots, but that if they say it's not more than 3, if they say it's
5 or whatever,
it doesn't work for their magic bullet conspiracy.
Yeah.
So they fucking moved on the original fucking document. They changed it and moved it up. Said, oh no, it came through his neck. That's why you see the thing through the neck.
There's a hole in his back. The whole thing is so crazy. What I think, if I'm going to put on my conspiracy hat, what I believe is that you had very powerful elements in the Pentagon who are also aligned with the CIA who wanted a reason to take care of the Cuban problem once and for all. And my feeling is Lee Harvey Oswald may very well have been not somebody who was he went to the Soviet Union, he went to Cuba, he was sent there, he was handing out pro-Cuba pamphlets, but he very well could have been a plant.
A plant, yeah, that's what they think he was, a plant. Russian-Cuban plant.
Then they set him up there. And now if they can prove that Lee Harvey Oswald, at the behest of Fidel Castro, or at least he was working for Cuba and he killed the president, then we can fucking...
we can do this.
Yes. Now, here's my only thing. That's a serious thing, because now you got the guy, he's under custody. There are too many people, everybody's going to ask him questions, right?
No, but they didn't, though.
Well, he got killed by Jack Ruby.
But no one was ever able to interview him. They wouldn't allow interviews with him.
Right.
And in every single document that they have, every single footage, he goes, I didn't do this. Never, because I didn't shoot the president.
Patsy.
Every single shred of evidence we have said he never did it. The other fucking interesting thing is, and to me, I was like, God, that's fucking weird. So they say, yeah, he ordered that gun weeks prior. And his wife gave him the documents, like, here's the receipt. This is the gun he ordered. The gun he ordered isn't the gun they found on the 6th floor.
Correct.
It's a different gun.
Well, because the strap was different.
The strap was different. And then in the pictures that they gave out to the public to be like, see, he killed him. There's the original picture where he's holding the gun that he got in the mail. And then they show the picture they showed to the public. It's a different, he goes, they showed him that picture. He goes, that's my face. That's not my body. Like,
Photoshop back then?
That's not my body. And and his ring finger is on the right hand, and he's holding a different gun. And his shirt's different.
Insane.
Yeah.
It's
my question though is how
so interesting.
How the hell did they pull that off? Like, think about how many moving parts there are. Because was Jack Ruby working for them too, and then he killed Harvey Oswald? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Even with them pulling it out, they couldn't make the.
I don't know.
I don't either, because it's possible that Jack Ruby did he said, I'm going to do a patriotic duty. I'm dying anyway.
To the mafia,
I know, but maybe he was dying, and he goes, I'm going to kill this
But then
guy.
how interesting is it that they wouldn't allow any journalists in to interview Jack Ruby? And he goes, I'm going to tell you the truth of why this happened. And they never would let the word out.
And then he died of... they knew he had cancer that had spread to his brain.
How weird is that? But then also, how about the one prosecutor who wanted to take on Lee Harvey Oswald? And he went through, he goes, and then they had a current, like, big-time prosecutor, like, in today, and he goes, looking through the evidence, there's not a shred of evidence that if Lee Harvey Oswald, let's say it would happen today like this, he'd be found guilty. Like, they have no leg to stand on.
Right.
He goes, there's not a shred of evidence that would have found him guilty.
But if they wanted to blame Cuba on that, they still didn't invade Cuba as a result. So what was that about, I wonder? It just didn't work at the end of the day.
But I don't think it was Cuba. It was John F. Kennedy not playing ball with him. Like, he was really ruffling feathers.
Yeah.
And then did you hear
He
them?
didn't provide air support in the Bay of Pigs invasion.
Yeah. And then he always fought against them.
Yeah. Well, He was actually four piece.
Did you see? Yeah, he was 4-piece.
I mean, remember, Curtis LeMay and those guys thought they could win a war against the Soviets. And they literally would have conversations going, we'll probably lose 40 million people, but we'll kill all of them.
You know what's interesting? Too is
insane.
Lyndon B. Johnson. They have him on the call with the doctor. It's him talking. So at the time, President of the United States talking to the doctor, Lyndon Johnson, and the doctor goes, they wanted me to sign off saying it was this magic bullet, this 3 shots. With a shooter like that, you're telling me, and he goes through it, and Johnson goes, I agree. It's insane.
Well, Johnson
goes, that doesn't make any sense. And the doctor goes, I can't sign off on it. He goes, I wouldn't either. Click.
Well, so also the interesting is Johnson's, I guess, #1 aide later on said Johnson himself, this is what his aide said. I think this was in the Church Commission, I think, when that Senator Church had these hearings. And he said, Johnson said, I think the CIA probably did this. Now that's Lyndon B. Johnson.
And what's interesting about Johnson, too, is obviously him and JFK didn't like each other, so a lot of conspiracies go towards Johnson. Yeah. After watching them, I don't think it was Johnson.
You don't think Johnson?
I think they had their disagreements.
Yeah, no.
I don't think he was in on it. I don't think he was in on it. It's so fascinating. And then if you watch,
That's what the fuck.
JFK was in Tampa a month prior.
Okay.
And someone from the government called and explained how they're going to assassinate him there. And the guy that was going to assassinate him, they go through.
Called and told who?
They go
Cuban
through
exile.
Yeah,
right?
they go. Yeah, it was a Cuban exile. They go through his whole history. And they think he was the additional shooter in Dallas. They have evidence that he came to Dallas.
How many shooters are they saying it was?
2 to 3 now.
Here's my larger question.
Because the eyewitnesses heard more than 3 shots.
Yes.
And then when you go through the locations of the shots, it definitely wasn't one guy. And then what gets fucking really strange is the autopsy when they go to get the brain and the doctor. And they go, first of all, there would never be that many people in the room overwatching everything you do. He goes, it's very strange.
Curtis LeMay was smoking a cigar.
Correct. And then the brain, the original brain, it was one piece. And they go, well, that's not his fucking brain. His brain was blown half off. And then they had to reopen it, and then they bring his brain in, and half of it's blown off. But the first one that the Warren Commission...
Why would they do that, though?
Formaldehyde.
It was in formaldehyde for 3 weeks prior. But it wasn't even his brain. His brain was actually larger than the most normal brains.
But why would they do that?
Just to pass it? Because, again, it wasn't like today where the public's on it. Even back then, the public did not fuck with what they told them. Nobody.
They kind of just accepted it.
No, they didn't.
Oh, no, sorry.
The public back then, without social media and YouTube, they didn't buy it. Because the eyewitnesses there were like, what? No, we heard this many shots. And then the news at the time, there's like 3 news stations. Like, oh no, it's Lee Harvey Oswald. And everyone's like, there's no way. They didn't fuck with it back then.
Brian,
I talked to my dad last night because he was 8 when that happened. He was like, I remember it was like it was yesterday.
Yep.
He goes, so many people were so upset.
Yep.
And he goes, and everyone had all these conspiracies, and it never stopped. He goes, even to this day, it never stopped. He goes, I remember my dad.
Well, my question is,
he goes, I remember my dad yelling at TV, going, bullshit.
Well, but
and he goes, and your grandpa was not. Like,
what'd your dad think?
My grandpa served in World War II, fought the Nazis, was super pro-American, pro-government, pro all that shit, and he was like, bullshit, man. There's no way.
Why? My question also is, why are some of the files still on lockdown? Explain that to me.
Here's what's crazy. Because it's going to let you know that the government was involved. That's why they think.
You think?
Here's what's crazy. We know Trump's a wild card, right? He just shoots from the hip.
Yeah.
He saw the documents, goes, I can't release those other ones. I can't.
Is that what he said?
He goes, I can't. He goes, I'll release this many. So many people are upset.
I wonder if that implicates the Soviet Union or Cuba.
Yeah, I think so.
You know?
Either Soviet Union, Cuba, or the CIA, it's bona fide evidence that they were involved.
Well,
if that comes out,
discredits. That's actually
and that's why Trump's not releasing it. Now they say in 2022 December they have to release those under the law.
Yeah,
I bet you they find a way to
not
renege that.
So I don't know if you saw, and Oliver Stone says, if you don't trust your government, it starts here. Like the way you gain trust in government again is transparency, right? And I don't know if you saw Ted Cruz interviewing the head of the FBI about that guy, Ray Epps. Remember the guy on January 6th? This is fucking on. I'm not a conspiracy guy, and I would never believe this until I saw it yesterday. Ray Epps was the guy on January 6th going, we have to go in the Capitol.
With the
we gotta
horns?
go in
Was he
the
the guy in the
Capitol.
horns
Nope.
or no?
Bring up Ray Epps. Watch this video.
Ray
He goes, we
Epps.
gotta go in the Capitol. And people were like, no. And they were going, Fed. He's a Fed. They were calling Fed. And he kept inciting it. Go,
he was
go.
trying to get everybody in.
Yes. You can
He was
see it.
a-
Watch this. Watch
was
this.
he a Fed?
Now they say, you know what he's supposed to be? You know what he's supposed to be?
it
That
this
guy.
guy?
You know what you gotta watch the video. He's a wedding planner. They said he's a wedding planner.
But what is he?
He's disappeared. So he's inciting violence. Okay, he's inciting violence, and I'm like, all right, he's probably a Trump guy. Like, is he? Everybody's calling him a Fed. He kept showing up at all these things.
Like all the Trump shit?
Yeah. Now, do me a favor. Just bring up a video of Ray Epps. I want you to see this, and then I want you to see Ted Cruz interviewing the head of the FBI, and I'm going to quote him. He goes, "I can't answer that right here." These fucking so watch Ray Epps right here.
Individual featured in video riot building.
This will blow
telling
your
Trump's
fucking.
own
Oh, he's from Arizona.
politicians to go into the Capitol also seem to have acted on his own.
I don't even like to say it because I'll be arrested. Well, let's not say it. We need to go. I'll say it. All right. We need to go in to the Capitol. Let's go.
Watch this. Watch him whisper.
That's him there?
Watch this.
Unsurprisingly, he was on the FBI's most wanted list and was referred to as Suspect 16 for some time.
Watch this now.
FBI WFO is seeking the public's assistance in identifying those who made unlawful entry into the US Capitol building on January the 6th.
And then he disappeared.
But
I
now,
thought they found everybody.
Look. Now keep going.
Suspect 16 has been scrubbed from the FBI website. Now, if you take a look at the Wayback Machine from archive.org, you can see that from January 8th, 2021, all the way until June 30th, Suspect 16 was pretty clearly highlighted. But suddenly, on July 1st, he wasn't
What?
on the website
Why?
any
Gets
better.
longer.
The government
Now,
Gets
if
way
he was
better.
arrested, he would still be on the website, just with arrested under his name, like others who have been apprehended. But he's not. He's just been scrubbed. This has prompted lawmakers to ask questions about whether or not there were FBI provocateurs who may have helped events on January 6th to go
Just
the way
watch
they
this.
did.
would the
As far as we can
FBI
find, this individual has not been charged with anything. Can you tell us, without talking about
His hair's
particular
terrible.
incidents
Yeah.
or particular
Watch this, watch
videos, how many agents or assets of the federal government were present on January 6th, whether they agitated to go into the Capitol, and if any of them did?
So I'm not going to violate this norm of the rule of law. I'm not going to comment on an investigation that's ongoing.
Oh no!
Now, the Capitol breach
watch this.
database has no entries or listings for Ray Epps. To some, that's a
He owns a
pretty
wedding.
big
He's a
red
wedding event
flag.
planner. Do you believe that?
The ongoing mystery of Ray Epps, who repeatedly appears in videos encouraging and inciting an invasion of the Capitol on January the 6th.
Positron?
Yet,
So,
for some reason,
so I would assume the reason he would work with the FBI or the government is obviously to make Trump look bad.
No. So the FBI,
To get Trump out of there?
anytime law enforcement, if you have like the Proud Boys, if you have any kind of domestic quote unquote terrorist organization, Antifa or anything, the FBI will always put plants there. You always put somebody there who's part of it. So if you have
For what?
Antifa,
To
so you
get
can investigate.
info?
You need men on the inside to see what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, I
right?
get
That's all
investigating, but
good.
him going and telling people what to do.
Well, and now bring up Ted Cruz asking the head of the FBI very pointed questions.
Here,
you
and
tell me
let me
this.
let me say this about Ted Cruz before you play this, Chen.
Yeah.
He looks like a doofus.
Yep.
Like, I don't have else to say. He looks like a fucking moron. You know, at Harvard, they asked the longest reigning Harvard employee or professor who's the smartest person. he's
biggest
ever-
brain in the world.
He said Ted Cruz.
He's got the biggest brain.
He goes,
in the
I don't agree with his politics. He goes, as far as smarts,
He's got a formidable-
He goes, Ted Cruz is the smartest person.
formidable
dude.
intellect.
Think about it. Mark Zuckerberg. Name the Harvard alumni. Ted Cruz, for this professor, is the smartest person that's ever been in
He's
my
got a
class.
formidable
I didn't know
intellect.
that. I thought
Oh.
because he looks like a fucking
Oh
moron.
yeah. He's not liked because
Yeah.
he's very, very abrasive.
And then remember we did the whole like Mexico trip with his family thing and stuff.
No, don't kid yourself. You're
I
talking
didn't know
about
he was a
very, very
beast.
smart guy.
No, I didn't know he was a beast.
Wait, so
Watch
what's
him.
this video?
Just watch this,
Yeah.
and this will blow your fucking mind.
The shorter
Watch
video,
Ted
okay?
Cruz pressures the FBI
Which
to
one?
involve
Yeah, just
this. Holy
just
shit.
watch this
But
shit.
why would the
This
FBI
blew
want to
my-
be
watch
involved
this.
with?
The FBI. How many FBI agents or confidential informants actively participated in the events of January 6th?
Sir, I'm sure you can appreciate that I can't go into the specifics of sources and methods.
Did any
No,
FBI
watch this.
agents
Watch this.
or confidential informants actively participate in the events of January 6th? Yes or no?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants commit crimes of violence on January 6th?
I can't answer that, sir.
Did any FBI agents or
Basically
FBI
guilty.
informants actively encourage and incite crimes of violence on January 6th?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Ms. Sadburn, who is Ray Epps?
I'm aware of the individual, sir. I don't have the specific background to him.
Well, there are a lot of people who are understandably very concerned about Mr. Epps. On the night of January 5th, 2021, Epps wandered around the crowd that had gathered, and there's video out there of him chanting, "Tomorrow, we need to get into the Capitol, into the Capitol." This was strange behavior, so strange that the crowd began chanting, "Fed, Fed, 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 Fed." Ms. Sandburn, was Ray Epps a Fed?
Watch this.
Sir, I cannot answer that question.
If he wasn't to deny it.
On January 6th, Mr. Epps is seen
Holy
whispering to a
fuck.
person, and 5 seconds later, 5 seconds after he's whispering to a
Scary,
person,
right?
that same person begins to forcibly tear down the barricades.
So if that's an FBI agent,
Did
you
Mr.
explain to me what the fuck is
urge
going on.
them to tear down the barricades?
How does it only have 9,000 views?
No, the
Watch
other one
the
has
head
a
of the
million.
FBI. Watch this.
Sir, similar to the other answers, I cannot answer that.
Shortly
is the head
thereafter,
of
the
the FBI.
FBI.
That's
Keep
the
going.
head of- yeah.
Yeah, this
The
head of the-
original has over a million views. This is a shorter version. That's
How's
why.
it only
Shorter
have,
version.
how, how's it only have a million?
I agree.
How's it not have
because the
80 million views?
because the
Does
mainstream media doesn't pick it up. Keep going. Keep going. But
Out of public
they're not going to let it go. You'll see.
insane.
Watch this.
seeking information on individuals connected with
Ted
violent
Cruz is a
crimes on
hound
January
dog.
6th.
Oh, dude.
Among those individuals,
I love big
at the bottom
brains.
there
Look at
is
this. Watch
Mr.
this.
Epps.
Watch
The
this.
FBI publicly asked for information, identifying, offering cash rewards.
Look, cash rewards.
information
Watch
This is
Watch this.
insane.
leading
Watch
for
this. Ready?
information leading to the arrest. This was posted, and then sometime later, magically, Mr. Epps
What?
disappeared from the public post.
How's this not
According to
mainstream
public records,
media?
Mr. Epps has not been charged with anything. No one's
Why is firing the
scares
kid
me.
educating people on this? We're 3 idiots.
Urging people to go to the Capitol.
I blew my hamstrings out
Was
before
so
this.
suspect
And we're educating people on
the
fucking...
Fed would magically disappear from the list of people the FBI was looking at. Ms. Sandburn, a lot of Americans are concerned that the federal
Are
government
they, though?
deliberately
Yeah. You'll
encouraged
see.
illegal and violent conduct on January 6th. My question to you, and this is not an ordinary law enforcement
Boy,
question.
he's a dog that got a
question
bone.
of public
Isn't he?
accountability.
He's a dog that got a
Did
toy.
federal
Watch this.
agents or those in service of federal agent actively encourage violent and criminal conduct on January 6th?
Watch this dodge.
Not to my knowledge, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, I believe you. That's the end of that, dude.
Ted Cruz.
Oh, you think he's going to let go of that bone?
Oh,
I like
doggy.